So I'm going into the Goodwill, but anybody else feel like the Goodwill is a little bit besides themselves? Like, girl, you the Goodwill. Like, your prices shouldn't be mall prices. You the Goodwill. Stand down. Don't start feeling yourself, girl.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
I don't know how to tell places like Goodwill and for-profit thrift stores this, but inflation doesn't apply to you. Like, we know that, right? Does Goodwill know that? Like, you get your items for free. You're not allowed to start raising the price of those items because of inflation. I've noticed the shoe prices especially, but like special priced items creeping up at my local Goodwill. And I'm really side-eyeing it because, like, you know you get those for free. There's no cost. It's a thrift store. It's supposed to be. You know that, right?
If anyone knows the CEO of Goodwill, can you tag him or send him this video? Why the fuck is all your shit in Goodwill so expensive now? I go into Goodwill trying to save money, trying to thrift. The fact that now that a basic t-shirt that someone could have bought from Walmart clearance rack is $5 is a problem. That is a problem. I went over to the jacket aisle and I see this Nike windbreaker. First of all, the material was so thin that not an ounce of wind would have been stopped, but that's a Nike problem, not a Goodwill problem. Let me refocus. But I look at the tag, price tag of this Nike windbreaker, $15. It wasn't new. It actually had a stain by the bottom of the jacket. $15 for a basic Nike windbreaker at Goodwill. Now, mind you, Goodwill is not paying anyone to donate this stuff. Goodwill gets all this stuff for free. So why are prices skyrocketing in Goodwill? The whole idea behind Goodwill is to do good onto people so that they can get a minor break in the economy. And now y'all want to price everything $5 or more. I know there's some stuff in there that's still reasonable, but if I go to Goodwill and I'm looking just for a basic top, I shouldn't have to pay at least $5. I shouldn't have to pay $15 for a Nike windbreaker at a charity organization. I've been going to my local thrift stores because at least they're reasonable. Shit, what has happened to Goodwill? Like, can we not get a break somewhere?
Here's another case of greedy little bastarditis. The Southeastern Pennsylvania corporate Goodwill told, at the very least, its Phoenixville store, but they're probably going to do it to the other stores too, that they weren't charging enough, so they had to raise their prices. So their items now that originally were priced at $1.99 that are now $3.99, people aren't going to pay that, and the corporate people had better resign themselves to low sales, and hopefully, if the heads roll, it's whoever it is who made that decision. Happy New Year.
I've said it once, I'll say it 100 times. Goodwill is outside of their ever-loving minds with their prices. I just went into this Goodwill, a brand new Goodwill. Y'all want to know what the price tag on a dining room set was? Now, I'm not trying to buy it. I just saw it and I was like, oh, I wonder how much it is. $499. $499 for a table that you got for free. There was a couch, not even a full-size couch, okay? Like almost like a love seat. $399. Why don't we just boycott? Why don't we just stop going there? Because that is ridiculous.
Because people with more money are shopping at thrift stores, the thrift stores are raising their prices.
Y'all, I really hope this is the last time that we have to talk about this. We're going to run this back and do the math one more time. Although the thrift store, Goodwill in particular, is a nonprofit and a 501(c), they are still a company. They are still a business entity. Businesses are in the business of making money. Thrift stores are not raising their prices because rich people are thrifting, and they're also not raising their prices because resellers are reselling. Each Goodwill store is locally owned by an entity, and that entity has a board of directors. This board of directors hires the CEO in that area. The prices of your thrift store are determined by your Goodwill board. Some of these Goodwill boards members have made an upwards of 6 figures a year. Goodwill is a social enterprise. If you don't know what a social enterprise is, it's an organization that applies commercial business strategies in order to make money to serve the environment. But that does not alleviate them from making sure that their co-owners profit. The reason why your Goodwill or your thrift stores are raising their prices is because your local Goodwill board wants more money, or they're hiring CEOs who are making killer salaries. Trust me, if you sit on a board of any company, including Goodwill, you are business savvy. You know what's going on in the world. You're following the trends. You're seeing price increases and inflation across all areas of business. And if you read up on social enterprise, one of the biggest debates about social enterprise, which Goodwill, again, is a social enterprise, is that it gets to a point where these entities start prioritizing financial stability, i.e., profit, over social good and change. So for the last time, y'all, thrifting is for everybody. And we are not the reason, resellers nor people who can afford not to thrift, we are not the reason that prices at the Goodwill or your local thrift store are increasing. See if you can sit in on some of these Goodwill board meetings and go to your local board and complain to them. I hope this is the last time we have to do this math lesson. All right, y'all.
So we have to talk about Goodwill and their new astronomical prices, because I have been shopping at Goodwill since as long as I can remember. I was little, back maybe 8 years old, and being mortified that I was there with my mom and how everything was secondhand, and I absolutely hated it. Funny story is 20 years later, I am going there pretty often because it's like my only dose of serotonin. I'll get a coffee and I'll walk around Goodwill and see if I can find a good deal. Over the past couple of years or so, every time I go in, I notice one particular item that I'm always looking for has gone up at least double. It was originally $3, then it was $5, now they're $10. So one thing that I always look for are gym shorts there, particularly like Nike or like any name brand, like Nike, Adidas, things like that. That's where I like to get them because I don't like paying full price for them at the store. When I used to buy them, they were only $3, and that was without one of those like color code things, or color of the day deals going on. Then a couple years ago, right before the pandemic, they were $5. Now I went in there today and they had the audacity to put them at $10. Like at that point, I might as well go get them brand new at Dick's Sporting Goods or wherever. I was so blown away by walking around that I didn't even get the same level of serotonin because there was no good deals. There's no good deals. Then to top it all off, I went into like one of the aisles and I saw one of those like plastic containers that like hold files. And I was like, oh yeah, I need one of those. I filled up my last one. I'll take a look at it. They wanted $10. Again, $10. It had the Staples like sign on it. I looked it up on Staples, brand new. They were like $13 and something. I'm like, you literally took something that was free and you turned around and asked for almost a full asking price for it. It's astonishing. I don't understand what is going on with their pricing or like who assesses them and prices them, but someone's got to talk about it.
Goodwill, what's happening? Raising prices for used items that you get free? That's ridiculous. If you sell used jeans for like $14 and I can go to H&M and get brand new jeans for $20, why should I come and get used jeans for almost the same price? What's the point? You keep this up, you're going to lose business. Straight up. Your clothes have stains on them. Like, it is just greed at this point. You know that the quality of your products that you get for free are not high. Very low qualities. Then why ask a high price? Why put a high sticker on it? That makes no sense.
So Goodwill's prices have gone up and it's absolutely ridiculous. Now before you watch this video, I should go ahead and warn you that I am butthurt. Goodwill takes free donations of things and then sells them for a profit. And they claim that they use their revenue to train employees and help people. But Goodwill's revenue last year alone was $4.8 billion. And they helped 300,000 people. That means that they spent $16,000 on each person? I don't think so. So why am I buying a dress for $6.99? When I was young, I would go to Goodwill and literally buy a dress for like $2.79. But now that it's cool and hip to be a hand-me-down girl, it's super expensive. I'm just not happy about it. P.S. Helping the community by training employees is not a thing. Everyone trains their employees.
I just learned the craziest thing from a Goodwill employee. So I was shopping and I was looking around, and I was looking for like the color of the discount for the day, and I couldn't find it. So I saw some lady like putting clothes back on the thing right next to me. So I was like, do you work here? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, what is the color today? Like, what day is it? Oh my gosh, sorry, my bangs are so messed up. And she was like, it's orange, but just so you know, we pull all the orange stuff like basically off the floor because we need to make our quotas. I was like, oh my gosh, good to know. Why are they doing that? That's so like shady. I was like, okay, shady Goodwill. She was like, yeah, I know. Ah! Sorry, I was watching my dogs outside and one of them started to eat poop. This one. But yeah, so I got this tank top. It was $8, but I wanted it, so I bought it, and they know I'm gonna buy it anyways. But I think it's $8 because it's Loft. But the lady I was talking to was like, yeah, we have meetings every morning and they tell us to like raise the prices on everything. Like, I knew Goodwill was shady because all of the prices were going up and stuff, but I didn't know it was like that, like actually pulling, because every time there's a color and I go in, because I don't go to Goodwill all the time because their stuff kind of sucks anyways and it's like too expensive, but every time I go in, I can't find the color like tag or for anything for like the discount of the day, and so that makes so much sense. And I go to check out, she's like, it's the same lady, she was like, oh, like, do you wanna round up? And I was, for like the donation, I was like, no, Goodwill is not getting any more of my money. And she was like, yeah, I know, I have to say it, I'm sorry. Also, I know they have to say it, like I've worked retail and I know you have to say it, but I'm just like, dang, the corporation that bought it out is going crazy. So she told me to go on Fridays because that's when they have the best deals, and I think they keep stuff out on the floor that is the color of the deal. So, little tip.
Okay, listen, I know I gripe on Goodwill all the time because, let's be real, they mark stuff up so much, which they really shouldn't be, because one, they're getting it for free, and two, it's never really worth that much. But this time I'm not. This time I'm griping at you. If you are the person that is donating stuff like this, please stop, because you're literally just making them so much money on stuff that is truly garbage and recycling. Let me show you. Okay, example A, these empty soap containers, $2. Could you reuse these? Yes, but like, this is recycling. This is recycling, okay? Or garbage. This does not get donated. This may be my personal opinion, but any like product that you would use on your body or your face, like if it is used especially, which most of the time it is, just throw it away. Because look at this, like $4 for this lotion. You have to be kidding. Burnt candles. If it's new, sure, go ahead and donate it. They're gonna charge $2 for it, which is hilarious because I'm pretty sure these are from Hobby Lobby and they're less. But if it's burnt, like literally just throw it away. Throw it away. 99 cents. How much is this one? $1.99. Nope. And last but not least, I present to you a literal bag of rocks for $7. I'm telling you, you guys, we're making them so much money by donating stuff like this. So please, please, please stop.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
Controversial take, but thrift stores are getting expensive and it's getting out of hand. You have vintage stores where they are going to these thrift stores, buying pieces for like $3 or $4 and selling them for $20. And now I'm starting to see Shein, Fashion Nova, Boohoo, Princess Polly in the thrift stores. We are losing the plot of the movie. I just bought a bunch of things on sale at Primark because it's hard finding clothes as a plus size person secondhand. $5 sweater, $5 sweater, another $5 sweater. This sweater, $5. I typically get my joggers from the men's section. Brand new joggers for $9. These are new clothes, $50 for all of this together. These were $3 in the clearance section at Old Navy. Brand new. I have a couple pairs, they're wide leg. I wear them religiously. I feel like there's a much bigger conversation to be had about this topic, but as somebody who's plus size, it's just really frustrating trying to buy clothes, especially trying to buy secondhand. Somebody needs to do something because the resellers are ruining it for everybody.
This is for Goodwill, and if you're not Goodwill, go ahead and keep scrolling because I got a bone to pick with you, okay? Look at this Schwinn bicycle. Broken. Don't even have the working pieces to it. Rusty and everything. And a whole flat tire. And it is $99.99, $100. And look at these. I understand these are New Balance, but please look at these. Y'all ain't even gonna believe how much they have these for. $20 damn. That is insane. Y'all ain't even gonna know. Look, that is outrageous. This is from Myers, the grocery store. $16 is crazy. This is the only one that's halfway acceptable. $15. But I still feel like I can get this at JCPenney's for like $10.99. Crazy. These are literally from the Dollar Tree. That's crazy. This overworn, raggedy, shrunken t-shirt, $17. Insane. Y'all ain't gonna believe this one. That is insane. Oh my gosh.
Goodwill done caught on to the game. And I'm gonna tell you how, baby. When I tell you Goodwill getting billions of dollars, I'm gonna show you how. So for one, in the early 2000s, I don't know if some of you know this or not, but this is what pisses me off when a lot of you say, oh, people just on welfare and they sitting down and they getting money for nothing. No, they're not. Government been stopped that. You can't sit your ass home, honey. Okay? And Goodwill actually signed an agreement with the government in the early 2000s, okay, for mothers who were getting any type of assistance, okay, where they had to go and work at Goodwill. The program is still going on today. Even pregnant women who are in their last trimester are required to work while pregnant, okay, in order to get their benefits. So what y'all sitting here talking about women sitting on their ass, women have not been sitting on their ass for a long time. And when they were with Claudine, they were still working and it still wasn't enough, okay? So I'm gonna need y'all to chill out on that. But the program, okay, they have a program with the government, okay, for the welfare program, the welfare to work program. So they get incentives for that. That's millions, billions, okay? And then they have a disability program where the disabled, intellectually disabled, get jobs with them, okay? They get the first come, first serve. There's about 4 of them in each store, okay, that works there. They get incentives for that, millions and billions for that. But this is the kicker that y'all didn't even know about. Don't you know all the clothes that you send to Goodwill? Not only, okay, do they hike the prices up on it, okay, but the things that, okay, this is what the disabled people are for. They pick through the stuff and make sure the stuff get on the floor, okay. But the things they deem not desirable or that you cannot use, okay, guess where they go to? They get packed up in huge containers and they get sent overseas. Yeah, that's where them clothes coming from, y'all. That y'all have been seeing in these documentaries, where a lot of African people dealing clothes. The clothes actually come from Goodwill. They're coming from us. That's why when y'all see them with clothes and say, "Hey, I had that shirt." Yeah, because you did that. It's probably your shirt. It's probably your shirt. But tons and tons of clothing that you have donated to the Goodwill get sold to the African continent. That's how they get their clothing.
Once you get to a point where you are just so greedy, screwing everybody over, doing all kinds of stuff, you will start to get lawsuits because people will get sick and tired of your behavior. And next thing you know, you're paying millions because it's really not right, man.
Okay, so let me tell you when I found out that Goodwill was a scam. I was involved with an organization that housed women who had been trafficked. Now, some of these women had been trafficked since they were children. They never had a normal job. They didn't know about, like, being in the workforce, none of that. And Goodwill supposedly offered this program to help them with resume, help them with like job etiquette, how to dress for a job, etc. And it wasn't just for this program. It was for like the homeless shelter, other women's shelters, rehabilitation centers, drug rehab, things like that. So they're bringing these people in, these vulnerable people, and teaching them how to have a resume, how to get a job, while also having them work in their stores. for free. Now, I had heard of this before, but never got to see it firsthand. So the girl's telling me about it, right? And look, she was just happy that she could get out of the shelter for a little bit, because when you're in there, like, you don't get to go nowhere. But I was like, this is fishy. Come to find out, they also do this for people that have, like, you know, like mental disabilities, or I don't really know the correct word, but they take advantage of the most vulnerable. On another note, one time I picked up a hitchhiker, and I took her for, like, I know it's crazy, but I drove her for like an hour, and she's telling me all this stuff. And she said the Salvation and the Goodwill are a scam. They're a scam. They don't help them. They don't help homeless people. She's like, yeah, I've been in a situation where I ripped my pants out. I have no clothes. And I went to the Salvation Army and told them, like, I'm homeless, blah, 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 whatever. They didn't care. They did not care. So they're overcharging for their stuff. They're taking advantage of society's most vulnerable people, getting them to work in their stores for free. Where is all this money going? Where is the money going?
I need someone at Goodwill to come to the front of the class because I have lots of questions. Now, we grew up pretty poor, and we used to thrift a lot because that's the only way we could get things. Go to yard sales, consignment stores. We used to go to Goodwill. But why all of a sudden are Goodwill prices competitive to other retail stores where they're getting all this for free? This is obviously a used bird cage. It's $40. Now, that's on the PetSmart website for $50, and you can probably find a coupon for it. Brand new. Because why is this $12.99? These standing lamps. Because the same lamp, same brand, everything is at Walmart for $9.87. This aquaculture fish tank, $45 at Walmart. Everything included. $39.99 here. Only the aquarium and light. None of this other stuff included. Turn dial stained up crock pots. $30. $29.99. This is used. $8. Used Tresemme. $8. You can get the 2-pack with the shampoo and conditioner for $12 at Walmart. Those little Walmart Christmas candles that they have for about $5, $7.99. Maybe it's me, maybe it's my store. Are they donating all this extra money? I just need to know what the plan is, because I don't understand. Okay, bye.
I can't believe that I was ever one of those people who used to go thrifting like multiple times a week for hours and hours, because I'm on my second store now. I have been in a parking lot for 25 minutes. My first store, I was ready to go in 5 seconds. It stinks. It's dirty.
How many of you guys grew up with Goodwill? I know I did. And I grew up with Goodwill prices. We came to Goodwill because we didn't have a lot of money to go and spend on brand new clothes, so we come to the secondhand store to find just good quality of clothes, maybe lightly used. That way we can still look good too. So it doesn't make any sense why we even have a secondhand store if you're just gonna put full prices on things. I mean, look at this skirt. Almost, it's $14 for this ugly skirt. Are you serious? Look at these prices. Look at that. Look, $17. It's a hoodie jacket that was free, and you're reselling it back to me for almost $20. We are all struggling. We're all struggling, and Goodwill is supposed to be a place so we can come and get secondhand things. So we don't have to spend as much money because we can't afford it. And they're making so much money off of our back, off of clothes that have been donated. Hey, I don't even know what the percent margin is and how much money they're making off of free clothes that they're reselling back to the public. This should be illegal, how much they are freaking charging people. Don't shop at Goodwill. They're stealing your money.
I spent 3 hours at Goodwill, the Goodwill in Shillington today, looking for a bridesmaid's dress for my bestie's wedding. I find a dress, it's amazing, but it's stained. So I asked to talk to the manager, and I said, can I have a discount? This is stained. So she gives me a spiel and says they don't give discounts. Fine. $10, ridiculous price anyway. All of their prices have gone up. They are more expensive than Plato's Closet. So I go to pay for the dress, and the girl says, this doesn't have a tag on it. I can't process this. And I said, what? All the dresses are $10. And she said it doesn't matter. If it doesn't have a tag on it, it has to go back through processing. You're Goodwill. You make up the prices. You get all this shit for free. What does it matter? So I keep telling myself it was stained anyway, but the audacity of this place, I literally cannot with them.
If you followed me for a minute, you know my love for Goodwill, but I found out one of the most troubling things today about Goodwill that explains a lot. When I was in my Goodwill today, I know a lot of you guys follow me and you're like, your prices are so good, so good, so good, so good. So maybe this is going on at your Goodwills and it's just now reaching mine, because when I went in today, there was a lot of things that were priced pretty high. And I just said, wow, you know, your guys' prices are really high today. And so the girl working there, she was like, I'll just tell you straight up, they started this new bonus program, which in essence is commission, and whoever tags it in the back, like their little number goes on with the tag, and then whatever it sells for, they get a bonus, or technically a commission off of that item. And also some of the items that are there that they feel are worth a lot, they put it straight on their auction site. Like whoever's tagging it and pricing it gets liberty to do this. And I'm not knocking Goodwill, because you know your girl loves Goodwill, like in love with Goodwill. But I was so disturbed because they had jeans there today that were like $24.99 and they were Miss Me, and I'm like, those like shouldn't even be $25.99. And so like the saving grace is you got John Boy and Billy in the back that's pricing it, and luckily they probably don't know designer names, because then this other guy's like, yeah, just put a real nice George Foreman on the auction site for like $50, and I'm thinking, I didn't even know they still made George Foreman. But if you live somewhere, you know, somebody's really up on fashion, then the things that you look for, like Lululemon and stuff like that, it's gonna skyrocket. It's insanity. Because the people that donate this, it's donated, literally given to them. Am I going to still shop there? Yeah, I am. But I'm also going to complain every time I go in, because there's also this little church that lit up. The steeple was broken off of it. And so the manager was actually in there, and I'm like, hey, why is this priced at $8.99? It was $8.99. He's like, oh, I don't know. That shouldn't be $8.99 unless it's like whatever he said, Laveau. I don't even know what that is, Laveau. And I said, no, it's like there's no brand and it's $8.99. And he's like, oh, well, I'm gonna have to talk to them in the back. So that probably clears up a lot of why our Goodwills are through the roof, because the people in the back are getting commission off the crap that they're putting out there to sell, which is sad. Yet I'll probably go to Goodwill tomorrow, but I'll complain tomorrow too.
Okay, let's talk about this, because I have been working at Goodwill for over 1.5 years now as a cashier, and I have to say the prices have went up a lot since I first started. I don't think I've ever seen a pair of shorts for $14.99 at my store though, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are at another location. I remember when I first started, you could literally get any men's t-shirt for $1.99, and now they only price the shittiest ones for $1.99, and all the nicer ones are $3.99 and up. Same goes for pretty much everything else. Like the prices have pretty much doubled, if not more. And there are times when customers will literally find shit that is priced higher than the original price that is on the item. Only thing I will say though is please don't harass the workers, be rude to the workers over this stuff, because it is corporate. It's the higher ups who are in charge of like the pricing and all that stuff. We just have to follow what they say, and we're not trying to lose our jobs or get fired. If a manager tells you no to a discount, don't take it personal. Just remember that the people who are working are literally just trying to get by, to pay their bills and shit. And if you don't want to shop at Goodwill anymore, I totally understand.
Oh my god, don't get me even started on Goodwill. I hate them. Hate them with a passion. I will not even shop at a Goodwill anymore because they're so overpriced. Everything that they get is absolutely free. Free! Because we donate stuff to them. Well, not me, but whoever. So, charging even a penny for it is a profit. Charging $14.99 for a pair of used shorts that we don't know who's been up whose ass crack is ridiculous. $3 is the most you need to be charging for a pair of shorts that you got for free. For free, Goodwill, for free. You're making billions of dollars every single year, and it's not going to your employees. And y'all can say, oh, well, they help people all the time. No, not with the billions of dollars that they're making. Do local thrift stores. If you're going to donate your stuff, donate it to the local ones, because more than likely you're helping somebody just make ends meet. Or like here in my town, we have one that is connected to our animal shelter, and everything that's donated there and sold at that thrift store goes to help feed the animals, strays, help with adoptions, helps with spaying and neutering, all that stuff. They help. All the proceeds that go from that thrift store go to them. So start donating there and stop giving it to Goodwill, because Goodwill is ripping you people off. They're getting it for free and making billions of dollars off of the crap you just don't want to keep at your house. I hate Goodwill.
I know I am not the only one who gets irrationally mad at Goodwill when they ask to round up at the end when you're paying. Like, no, you're already overcharging me for everything in here. You get this stuff for free. I shouldn't even be shopping in here right now. But no, I don't want to round up. This lady that was checking out in front of me just now, at the end, the Goodwill worker didn't ask her, do you want to round up? She said, will you round up the price for me? I'm just like, why would anybody do that? Why would anyone do that? I don't know.
This is actually pretty hilarious to me, because it's just like, I have already had a bad experience at your store. You were overcharging people for products that you get for free. They are subpar, low quality products. And then on top of that, you have the mind to ask me if I want to give you even more money when I have had a horrible experience at your store. And every time I come here, I have even worse of an experience. And you want me to give you even more money, even though you have taken a lot of my money already. The audacity, the lack of awareness. This is exactly why people lose it in stores at times. It's just stuff like this. Like, I've had it up to here with this store, and then you guys ask me for another thing again. It's just like, nah.
Whew, another day, another dollar. Let's see. There's like nothing left in here. $11.99. Expired antibiotics, $17.99. A half-used deodorant stick with a hair still on it, $8.99. Hydrogen peroxide with no lid, that's probably gone bad, $7.99 because it's still half full. Let's see, a Band-Aid box with one half-opened Band-Aid, $7.99. And then we got, ground beef. Keep this away from the window when you put this out so it doesn't spoil as quickly. Meat's pretty pricey right now, so $22.99 on that.
Okay, let's get started. Are people still giving us their stuff? And how much money have I made so far this year? Well, sir, donations are at an all-time high, and you've made close to $1 million so far this year. Well, let's brainstorm and figure out how I can make more money. Well, sir, we could increase prices again. Let's keep that on the table, but we need something fresh. How about we charge people for their bags? Like we don't just put their things in a bag. We charge them for the bag to put their things in. Have you lost your mind, man? We're already doing that. Okay, how about we make people pay to donate their stuff? Like they can't just come drop it off. They have to pay us to take their stuff. Now I'm liking the way you think. Okay, so let's put that on the list. And also, while we're at it, let's just go ahead and take away employee benefits and slash their salaries by, let's say, maybe a fourth, because I've got a goal for $1 billion this year.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.